Hello and welcome to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. This is the newest game by Owlcat Games, who are known for their Pathfinder series, Pathfinder Wrath the Righteous and Pathfinder Kingmaker. Now, obviously those were both set in the Pathfinder universe and the Pathfinder tabletop system. This one is firmly within 40k and the Rogue Trader system, so it's going to be interesting to see how their style moves over into a completely new world and a completely new set of rules and how they adapted certain things to it. I'm also very excited because it's been a long time since I was last immersed in Warhammer 40k. I used to play the tabletop game, I used to have a Chaos Space Marine army, but that was about maybe 15 years or so ago, and I've kind of let it fall to the wayside, so it's going to be cool picking it up, jumping back in, and getting re-immersed in this world and universe. So, what is today's episode going to be? Well, we're going to be jumping into character creation after clicking new game, where there may be some story stuff first, and we're going to be creating a character. Then in the next episode, we're going to be actually starting the game proper, which we did previously in the beta, but I'm imagining there are quite a few changes that we're going to see from that, because there were quite a few bits that were a little unfinished in the beta, as you would expect. So, let's jump into a new game and see what kind of character we're going to be creating. Okay, yes, we will share analytics, that's fine. Right, main story. Take up the mantle of a rogue trader, the scion of an ancient dynasty of daring privateers that reign over their trade protectorate, and explore the fringes of the known galaxy. Darkness looms over the bloodline of von Valancius as it faces multiple threats, from within its own ranks and without, as countless enemies seek to destroy the most daring and brave agents of humanity. It is up to you to hold the reins of this shattered protectorate and forge a new path for the von Valancius dynasty, currently finding itself in a vortex of wars, intrigues, calamities, and heresy. The stakes are high, and rise even higher as you cross paths with terrifyingly powerful and ambitious adversaries in the darkness of the Koronus Expanse. Awesome. Right, what difficulty are we going to be playing on? Generally with Owlcat Games, I tend to go in the difficulty which says enemy stats are 0% reduced or 0% raised. So I think that probably means we're on daring, right? Enemy stats, including wounds and dodge, are not reduced. Enemies inflict full damage. The party's momentum gains are not scaled. Minimum damage for party members is 0 or 10%, whichever is greater. After all modifiers have been applied, party members' resolve is equal to its base value. The chance to hit cover when shooting at enemies is equal to its base chance. A party member receives an injury if they receive damage that is equal to 50% of their total wounds in one round. That sounds perfectly fine to me. The only thing I want to double check is that there's no setting about people outside of combat getting XP, which I don't think there is. So yep, so that should be fine. Just double check that again. There's nothing in here we want to move. I think this is absolutely fine. We'll play on daring. Choosing this difficulty is not recommended for players not familiar already with Rogue Trader's system, as well as its implementation in this game. Do you confirm your choice? I'm sure it'll be fine. Yes, I confirm. And we're straight into creating a character. Now, what I want to do with my character, we are going to create a custom character, but we'll have a quick look at some of the ones that they've made just for some ideas. But what I want to do with my character is essentially create someone who's very flexible, and as I tend to play these types of games, I want somebody who's going to be an absorber of knowledge, of lore, of different information, who's going to be able to talk their way through problems, who's going to be able to find the way to puzzle out situations. Less the type of character who's going to be running and gunning, you know, run in here, say heresy, shoot everyone and then leave. We're going to be more the type who's going to be walk in, maybe sneak a look at the books before we talk to somebody, know what we're going to be saying to them, manipulate them in certain ways. That's the kind of character I'm wanting to create, so let's see how we can do that. So the first character they have here is Hecata, who is a soldier. Okay, so this is the kind of thing we're not going to be doing, this kind of run and gun thing. It was a brand of shame. As commander-in-chief of a disastrous military campaign, you were buried in shame. Oh wow. Okay. We have Darius, who's an operative. So I'm thinking this is kind of where we're going to be what we're going to be doing. Yeah, uses intelligence and perception to find and exploit enemy weaknesses and enemy defenses. That's the kind of thing that we're going to be thinking about. I think this is where we're looking. And then we have yet another, we have a warrior. Okay, so this must be melee combat, I'd assume, yes. So this is the melee version of this, essentially, sort of. Right, custom character. Create your very own rogue trader from scratch. The possibilities are endless when it comes to customizing your character and choosing their homeworld, gender, and background. You can also choose from a wide variety of abilities and skills. Yes. That all seems perfectly normal. Appearance. What kind of character are we going to be? I want to just pick someone who looks like they're going to be our goal here. Like somebody who can blend into situations. This guy's kind of alright. I like that. What have we got here? All very cool. I do like this one. This one looks cool. It doesn't look like the type of person I'm wanting to make, but looks incredibly cool. Okay. I kind of feel in this guy. I think this one's the one I'm after, or this one potentially. But yeah, let's be this guy. Okay, cool. Appearance. I'm tempted to just go with what it's given because it kind of looks identical to the one that we've got there, so I'm quite happy to just keep this actually. Remembering that we're most of the time going to be seeing our character from above, looking down, and he's probably going to be covered in gear at some point, so I'm not going to be too worried about it. This I'm more interested in, because this is what we're going to hear non-stop.
I'll bring glory to my bloodline. I am but a vessel for the higher purpose.
Okay, next one.
To arms!
Can we get more here?
The best defense is a good offense. Ruinous favor prevails. Through chaos, I stride.
Yeah, I'm not sure about through chaos I stride. That seems a little bit too heretical.
Stay faithful, and you will.
Yeah.
I don't need luck. I have strategy.
Maybe this guy, pragmatic male. Let's go with that. We may adjust him as we go through this, but let's go with this for now, and we can always come back. Homeworld. Okay, so we got a choice of 6 homeworlds. First one, Death World. So in the beta, I think there was a limited number of these, and only very few were actually implemented. Like there was a limited number, and then of that number, like some of them said, this will be done later. So I'm going to read through all of these so we have a rough idea of what we're dealing with. On Death World, the plants, beasts, and sometimes even the environment itself take aggressive and destructive forms inimical to human life. While exceptionally difficult to colonize, many Death Worlds possess valuable resources that require an outpost or other human presence upon the planet's surface to harvest. These harsh environments result in some of the hardiest and most resilient populations in the galaxy. Those tested and found wanting die young. So, you get a special feature here, Survival Instinct. Once per combat, when the wounds of a Death World character drop below 30%, they gain 20% of their maximum wounds as temporary wounds. Death World characters also gain a plus 20% bonus to dodge and armor while they have at least one temporary wound from any source. Okay, interesting. So this one would give you strength, which is how strong you are. Toughness, which is effectively your HP, I think. Yeah, how easily they can shrug off injuries and other similar things. Agility, so initiative and dodge chance. And dodge reduction for melee weapons. Intelligence is a measure of character's acumen, reason, and knowledge, so it affects all your lower skills. And then fellowship is kind of your persuasion skill, right? It's your charisma. Yeah, so this doesn't really seem like it's what I want to be building, because it's not really going into the route that I want to build a character. Ideally, we want something that raises both of these, intelligence and fellowship. So, Voidborn. Voidborn are humans birthed in the belly of a void vessel or aboard an ancient orbital satellite. Those who have lived their lives on void ships become inured to some extent due to the reality-altering process of warp travel and to living in low or zero gravity environments. In many cases, their features are drawn and their skin pallid, and they may even have minor deformities or strangeness to their speech, gait, or general appearance that sets them apart from others. So this one would raise willpower, so its ability to withstand the horrors of the warp, and raise your intelligence and lower your strength. It would also give you a feature of fortune. You can reroll any failed attack, dodge, parry, characteristic, or skill check test with a 20% chance of success. This chance cannot be greater than the base success chance of the roll. Additionally, any enemy dodge or parry against a Voidborn character has a 20% chance to fail after a successful roll. Okay, so effectively it gives you just like a extra little roll on top, so you could potentially fail like a lot of checks and have them pass through this. It basically gives you a 1 in 5 of not failing checks when you could. Oh, also, are these talents unique? Is that on... Oh, we do have a few down here as well. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll look at those once we narrowed it down a little bit. I don't think this one's really what I'm looking for, but this one wouldn't be terrible. Hive World. A hive world's population is so dense that great swaths of the surface of the world are frequently covered in gargantuan cities bejeweled with towering spires that pierce the atmosphere. Hive worlds are vital to the welfare of the Imperium and are the beating heart of its economy and war machine. They produce munitions for the Emperor's armies in vast manufactories, mine valuable minerals, and refine fuel for the Imperial Navy. Innumerable regiments of the Astra Militarum are raised from their massive populations as well. Okay, so this one is a fellowship and agility increase and a lower of willpower. Gives you strength in numbers. Hive World characters gain gain plus 1 plus fell bonus divided by 2. Okay. Resolve. If there are 3 or more creatures, allies or enemies in a 3-cell radius, yet they suffer a -2 penalty to resolve with no creatures around. So you would either want this character to be kind of sitting in your back line surrounded by like your ranged characters, or you would, I guess, looking at this one, ideally want them in the front, you know, surrounded by enemies. Although, yeah, I guess the agility is kind of weird on that one, because you would, well, I guess it is good for melee weapon dodge reduction, so yeah, I guess that could be fine. Okay, what is resolve, by the way? How efficiently and for how long characters can fight in battle determines the amount of momentum gained at the beginning of each turn or after killing an enemy. Okay, fair enough. I'm not entirely sure this is us either, but it's not terrible again. These two are currently higher than Death World. Forge World. Forge Worlds are the domain of the Adaptus Mechanicus, entire planet ceded to the demands of vast macro industries. Each is a manufacturing super complex of unimaginable capacity and power. Over the millennia, different Forge Worlds have become especially renowned for their philosophies or ways of war. These are often coloured by the technologies they specialise in manufacturing. The bulk of a Forge World's population is utilised as a labour force, whilst the fortunate few may be inducted into the ranks of the Adaptus Mechanicus itself. So it lowers your ability to talk to people, increases your intelligence, gives you some toughness as well. So toughness, how easily you can shrug off injuries, yes. Okay, cool. Wait a second, interesting. So this one, you get a feature immediately. The following features will be available after Origin Advancement. So you get a special Origin thing up here for Forge Worlds. Interesting, so what does that lead into? So you get an int bonus critical hit. You gain add G bonus into dodge and MP. Or you can gain toughness bonus into armor. Okay, cool. Imperial World. Oh, you also get Origin Advancement here as well. An Imperial World is one of 1 million planets united by the belief in the immortal God Emperor. Hailing from hyper-technological societies to grimy feudal populations, the inhabitants of countless worlds offer fealty and devotion to the Master of Humanity and the Imperial Creed espoused by his servants. The designation Imperial World encompasses a vast array of wholly dissimilar worlds that are, nevertheless, part of the Imperium. So you get a feature, Humanity's Finest. Imperial World characters can select any characteristic except for weapon skill or ballistic skill and add a 10 bonus. Okay. What you get in here? So in this one, it was your characteristic modifiers that were set and then your feature wasn't. This one is the opposite way around. It's your feature, but your characteristics are in here? Oh. Oh, I see. So you just gain a plus 10 to something. That's what that means. Oh, okay. So instead of getting this plus 10 minus 5, an Imperial World character just gets a plus 10 to 1. Instead of like a plus... Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. I'm feeling Imperial World, but let's see what Fortress World has to say. Fortress worlds are planets where the entire populace is immersed in warfare. They constantly train for the day that they may be called upon to defend the Imperium, a charge they solemnly uphold. Fortress worlds are established as bulwarks against the enemy. Every citizen is a soldier, trained to fight from the moment they can handle a weapon. So this one gets you perception and willpower and never stop shooting. So each time a Fortress World character kills an enemy, they gain 10 stacks of never stop shooting. At the start of their turn, there is a stacks never stop shooting percentage chance that the first attack this round will cost 0 AP and will not count towards the attack limit per round. I'm definitely feeling like we're in Imperial Worlds here. Let's have a look at the talents we get. Ready to serve. When an Imperial World character is affected by an ally's non-damaging ability or affects an ally with such an ability, the resolve is increased by a fellowship bonus divided by 2 for 1 round. Okay. Better to die for the Emperor. While under 40% wounds, Imperial World characters gain a plus 10 bonus to all characteristics and a plus 2 bonus to resolve. Okay, so you get very buff if you're low on health. So are these talents we just get, or are these talents we have to unlock? Not entirely sure. They might be things we get, but I'm not 100% sure. If no other character in the current party has the same archetype as this character, the first use of any abilities from this archetype cost minus 1 AP less. Archetype defines a character's role in the game. As the character levels up, the rank of the chosen archetype will increase, opening up access to new abilities and talents. Alright, I mean that sounds good. It would probably limit what types of companions we could have in theory, but okay, it's probably good. No heresy. Imperial World characters gain 10% critical hit chance and 10% armor against Xenos or demonic creatures. Their allies gain half the bonuses of no heresy. However, Imperial World characters Lore Xenos and Lore Warp are always 0. What? Oh. So we would lose out on lore. So these must be things you get from the start, right? Okay. Huh. So we would know nothing about Xenos or Warp. Ooh. I do like lore though. Maybe we're not this. All allies excluding Xenos. Interesting. That's very interesting, so that implies that there are allies that are Xenos. Anyway, in the current party, gain plus 5 to the same characteristic that was chosen for humanity's finest. Okay. Interesting. Maybe this isn't what we go for. What was our second? Our second was maybe either Forge World or Hive World, I guess. But yeah, maybe it was Hive World because then we would only lose willpower. What do we get for Hive World? Let's have a look at this one. Also, just have a look. Although they do get things after Origin Advancement. Okay, wait. Let me double check. The following features will be available after... Okay, anyway, doesn't matter. We'll get to that in a second. Camaraderie. Hive World characters can pass willpower resistance tests using their fellowship value instead, if the character's fellowship is higher. Oh, interesting. So, we can use our will... Instead of needing willpower, we can just use fellowship. Huh. Okay. Outnumber. If a Hive World character has melee superiority against the enemy, the effect is increased by plus 10. If an enemy has melee superiority against a Hive World character, the effect is decreased by minus 10. Melee superiority. In melee combat, any target surrounded by more allies than enemies receives a +10 weapon skill bonus for each additional ally. Larger creatures need to be surrounded by more than 2 enemies to provide this advantage to the attackers. Okay. Interesting. Weapon personalization. All ranged weapons dealing physical damage have +1 damage, +5% armor penetration, +1 rate of fire, and a -5 to recoil. If a Hive-World character starts their turn adjacent to an allied character, that Hive-World character gains +2 MP. MP being movement points? Yes. Okay. If a Hive-World character ends their turn adjacent to allies, they all gain +2 MP on their next turn. Fresh start. Hive-World characters gain a 50% bonus to dodge against the first attack of opportunity every round. Yeah, maybe we'll be a Hive-World character. I think this seems fine. Yeah, this seems good. And we'll be in... so we're effectively a character who's coming from a world which is very population dense. It would make sense with our idea that they're going to be able to talk to people, that they're going to be able to adapt to different situations, because they're effectively... that's what they grew up in. Let's go Hive World into Origin. So, this one is giving us more specific skills. So this one was very much like your characteristics, like your top level stuff. So your fellowship and your agility, which will then feed down into different skills. See, like this one feeds down into persuasion, coercion, and commerce skills. Origin appears to be giving us stuff specifically towards those kind of things, if that makes sense. So it's going to give us some actual skill stuff, although it does give us some higher level stuff as well. So, Astra Militarum Commander. The Astra Militarum, commonly known as the Imperial Guard, is the primary fighting force of the Imperium and the first line of defense for the myriad threats that endanger the existence of humanity in the 41st millennium. You have served as one of the commanders of an Astra Militarum regiment, commanding thousands and winning battles in the name of the God Emperor. That doesn't sound like us. Let's see what other stuff we got. Commissar. Commissars are of the Officio Praefectus. Commissars of the Officio Praefectus are ruthless officers. Ooh, that one's highlighted. You get extra stuff for being an officer, I see. Charged with maintaining the morale, discipline, and fighting spirit of their Astra Militarum regiment. You used to be one of these faithful servants of the God Emperor, a living symbol of Imperium authority, regarded with a mix of fear and awe by their subordinates. Yeah, that seems worse. Like, I would rather be Imperial Guard than the Commissar for what we're going for here. Crime Lord. The Imperium survives and prospers in no small part due to the narrowness of its vision, but a rebellious mind and will such as yours could not be so easily constrained. The dark paths of smugglers and renegades that wind behind the facade of the Imperium's societies offer a dangerous refuge for those unwilling to bow to the law. You used to be one of these dangerous yet resourceful individuals. I'm not 100% against Crime Lord. It's a different path than I would naturally have thought we might go, but Crime Lord isn't terrible. Ministorum Priest. Absolutely not, but okay. The Ecclesiarchy, formerly known as the Adeptus Ministorum, is a vast institution that oversees the galaxy-spanning religion of the Imperium. The Ecclesiarchy's complex hierarchies of cardinals, missionaries, preachers, and zealous laity ensure the prescribed prayers and invocations are made, all the while instructing the masses to guard against heresy and deviancy. You used to be one of these fiery and charismatic individuals concerned with keeping a close watch on your congregation. Absolutely not. Zero chance. Just from a, background standpoint. Navy Officer. The Imperial Navy is responsible for the fleets of void ships that assert the dominance of the Imperium amid the stars and fulfill other duties connected to void and warp travel. Used to be a Navy officer and commander of a void ship, hardened in numerous battles and famous for resounding victories. No. Noble! Oh, I just saw the characteristics. Ooh. The high nobility of the Imperium are an enormously privileged and powerful elite, a breed apart from the common masses they rule. You grew into adulthood upon a pedestal of affluence and grandeur that towered high above the common masses. You expected their obedience and lived upon the fruits of their toil, surrendered to your family in solemn fealty. The only problem I have with this one is the description. The actual bonuses we're getting are very nice. And then Sanctioned Psyker. Psykers are feared and distrusted, but are nonetheless valuable assets to the Imperium. The role of the Adaptus Astra Telepathica is to recruit, identify, and classify those found to possess psychic abilities. The most powerful, who sometimes survive the rigorous sanctioning rituals, are selected to serve on the battlefield. The mind of a sanctioned psyker is steeled against the manifold dangers risked by wielders of warp powers. You are one of those found worthy to serve humanity and miraculously survive the perils of the warp. Note: damaging psyker powers count as weapon attacks, counting towards the normal attack limit per round and gaining all the benefits of abilities and talents increasing the damage of attacks. For example, a soldier using the run and gun ability will be able to use damaging psyker powers twice per turn, and an operative's analyze enemy's ability affects the damage of damaging psyker powers. Cool, but not for us. So I'm between Noble and Crime Lord here. So Crime Lord's going to give us weapon skill, okay, for close combat. We did say that our homeworld one does fit close combat quite nicely. Perception, okay, so seeing our surroundings and noticing when someone's being deceitful. Awareness, so notice traps, cleverly hidden objects, secret passages. And logic, notice any logical inconsistencies in other people's words. Also helps operate cogitors more efficiently, may give access to new dialogue options. Okay, and then after origin advancement we get some of these. Okay, so more perception and awareness. While noble, we get intelligence, which gives us lore. Fellowship, which gives us ability to interact with other people. Coercion, which allows us to coerce people through intimidation, threats, and pressure. And persuasion, which allows you to persuade them. And then you can get more of this. Also, I love all the talents just say you. I guess we're instructing, you do something, you protect me, you kill it. That is good. The noble servant gains bonuses. Its ability on their servant, yeah. No, let's be a crime lord. It's not one I would naturally go towards, but let's be a crime lord. I think this could be fun. Right. Surefire plan. At the start of combat, the crime lord gains a +int bonus stacks of the surefire plan effect. Activation of this ability consumes 1 stack and makes the next action stronger depending on the type of action. I've also chosen the character that comes with its own instruction manual book per turn. If the crime lord attacks, they deal +10 plus perception bonus % more damage. If the crime lord moves, they gain 10 plus perception bonus % dodge and parry until the start of their next turn. If the crime lord uses non-damaging ability on an enemy, the enemy suffers a -10 plus int bonus % penalty to damage for 1 round. Okay. At the start of combat, so we gain +int bonus stacks of... Okay. So at the start of combat, we're going to gain a number of stacks. That number of stacks is equal to our int bonus. We can then use the ability in combat to use a stack, and then it will do one of these things depending on whatever our next action is. So if we want more damage, we use it, do it. If we want to dodge and parry, use it, do it. If we want to lower something's damage to us, use it, do it. Got it. What other stuff do we get? Killing plan. The bonus damage of surefire plan is increased by 2 times your weapon skill bonus %. Killing at least 1 enemy with an attack restores 1 stack of surefire plan. Okay. Interesting. So killing at least 1 enemy with an attack restores 1 stack of surefire plan. So effectively, yeah. Wait, is that an attack that has this, or is that just... it might just be any attack. So that's basically a way to cut through combat. So you run in with your melee weapon, kill something, gives you your surefire plan back, you can then use it on the next thing you want to do, and then keep spiraling out of control. Escape plan. The bonus to dodge and parry from Surefire Plan are increased by 2 times your agi bonus percent. Dodging or parrying at least one attack at the start of the next round restores 1 stack of Surefire Plan. Okay. So I think these must be after you activate the plan. If you activate the plan and then it works, you get more of your Surefire Plan back. So if you activate the damage and kill something, you get your thing back. If you activate your dodge and dodge, then you get your thing back. I think that's what it's saying. An enemy affected by Surefire Plan also suffers a percentage, or 10 plus 2 times perception bonus percentage penalty to dodge and parry reduction. If at the start of a turn the Crime Lord has no stacks of Surefire Plan, they gain +1 stack. The last plan. Once per combat, if the Crime Lord has at least 1 stack of Surefire Plan, they do not die from lethal damage. Ooh. Instead, they heal 5 times the number of Surefire Plan stacks percent of max wounds, lose all stacks, and can no longer gain Surefire Plan stacks. That is very good. Okay. This is what we're going to be. So we're going to be a Hive World Crime Lord. Triumph. You manage to corrupt an entire star system and turn it into your personal den of thieves. You stripped an Ecclesiarchy Cardinal of a priceless treasure that had been kept in one of the most secure sanctums of the Adaptus Ministorum. That gives us Imperial lore. Or you prevailed in a bloody shadow war against the void pirates of your sector. So do I want logic, or do I want lower Imperium? Ooh, I kind of like the idea of stealing a priceless treasure from the Ecclesiarchy. I think that sounds very cool for us. Here, this is our darkest hour, so this is what's gone wrong for us. An inauspicious deal with the wrong people resulted in the rise of a chaos cult and a horrific massacre of innocents. You were arrested and thoroughly interrogated using creative and violent methods. So what's carouse? Ability to resist negative effects applied by some poison, stimulators, or alcohol. The brand of shame. You turned your partners into the authorities and became known as a traitor. So that gets us Commerce Lord. Okay. I guess we're going to take a carouse hit. You were arrested and thoroughly interrogated using creative and violent means. Okay. Let's go with that. Archetype. You can only choose the first tier archetypes at this moment. Archetypes are development paths that your character follows. Each archetype encapsulates a unique set of skills and expertise and represents a specific combat specialization, from the front-line warrior to the indispensable leader, preferring to command from the rear. Choose what you want to be in the grim dark future of Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Okay, so which path do I want to take? So this also leads into the next paths, so we should probably think about that. So what's Warrior? So Warrior leads into Vanguard, Assassin, Arch, Militant, and Exemplar. Everything leads into Exemplar, so this must be like the final class. I was kind of just hoping to see what we got here. So managed to go beyond and become Exemplars. Okay, that's fine. Back. Oh, I'm lost. 2 archetypes, there we go. Warriors are combatants boasting exceptional melee prowess, capable of dealing high damage in close quarters combat and withstanding heavy amounts of damage. They also excel in drawing enemies' attention from the less defended allies. Core focus, melee, movement and dodge, armor, parry, taunt, soaking damage. Officer. Officers use their willpower and fellowship to improve the combat capabilities of their allies, turning them into even greater threats on the battlefield. Extra turn, single target buffs, rescuing allies, momentum. Operative. An operative uses intelligence and perception to find and exploit weaknesses in an enemy's defense, or in enemy's defenses. None can withstand an attack from an operative. Precise single attacks, defense penetration, area debuffs, consistent firing position. And then Soldier. Master of ranged weapons. Okay. Just saying where these lead. So this leads into Assassin, Vanguard, and Arch Militant. This one leads into Master Tactician, Grand Strategist, Arch Militant. This one leads into Assassin, Bounty Hunter, Grand Strategist. And then this one we don't need to worry about, but leads into these other ones. What about Officer? So Officer would lead into like Vanguard. I just want to see what these are. While facing extremely heavy fire, Vanguard only grows stronger in the crucible of battle. That doesn't really sound like us. Master Tactician. Always in the thick of battle, using their leadership and combat prowess, Master Tacticians are able to harness the momentum of their party to enhance combat effectiveness of their allies and themselves. Okay. Scaling with party success, long-term single target buffs, momentum, versatility. Grand Strategist. Okay. What is this one? The Grand Strategist is able to increase the battle effectiveness of their party by designating and strengthening important parts of the battlefield. Okay. I guess I should just look at all of these. Bounty Hunter. Are methodical killers who leave trails of dead bodies in their wake. Bounty Hunter chooses their next target before the previous one has even realized it's dead. You know what? I really like that with the idea of what we've got going already. So the fact that we've got these stacks that we can use, and the stacks reset upon kills, potentially, if we go down that path. So what we can do is we can go in, activate, do extra damage, kill. Bounty Hunter is then saying that you would already be looking at the next target and then go in, kill, go in, kill. It sounds like an interesting idea. So what leads into Bounty Hunter? The only one is operative, so intelligence and perception to exploit weaknesses. Okay, maybe we go operative. So what have we got here? Intelligence, perception, weapon skill, ballistic skill. And then you get lore, Imperium, and Xenos. With some logic tech use. Let's see if we got anything else down here that is interesting. So we'd lose out on some of our persuasion stuff, but we have a lot of that already. Okay. Just seeing down here. Yeah, I quite like operative. It gives us skills that are kind of where I want to be going. Characteristics that are kind of where I want to be going. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this one. Let's go with operative. And now we have to go put a bunch of stats into different things. So, weapon skill is close combat. Increases parry and reduces enemy parry and dodge chance against melee attacks. Also increases the chance of a critical hit. Ballistic is ranged. Strength is how physically strong you are. Affects damage inflicted with melee weapons, allows them to lift heavier objects. For each bonus point of strength, characters deal 1 additional damage with melee weapons. Toughness is it affects the amount of characters' wounds. For each bonus point of toughness, character gains 10% wounds. Okay. Agility improves initiative, dodge, chance, and reaction. Character uses a melee weapon, their dodge reduction is equal to half of their agility. Okay. Intelligence affects your lore. Perception affects your ability to see things. Willpower affects the ability to withstand powers of the warp, and then fellowship is like persuasion and all of that sort of stuff. Just going back here a second. So do we not see? Maybe I'm thinking of the noble. I think I'm thinking of the noble. I was gonna go. Did I not see something back here about using our using our fellowship? Yeah, I think that must be the noble thing. Using fellowship as something else. Yeah, it might be that might be a noble thing. We have jumped back and forward a few times, so we might want some willpower, potentially. Let's see. Immediately, I'm thinking we probably want a little extra strength, because if we're going to use melee weapons, we probably want to have that. Weapon skill is nice as well. I do want some intelligence. And I probably want some perception fellowship. There's a lot of things I want. Maybe it's easier to go, what don't I want? I'm not that interested in ballistics. I mean, I'm fine shooting a weapon, but I'm not that worried about it. Toughness, I'm not overly worried about, but if we're in melee, we probably need to worry slightly. And maybe we leave willpower deliberately low. Yeah, I don't know. Let's maybe go. Let's go up. Oh, it goes up in 5s. Okay. Let's go up 1 here. There we go. Let's then add a little extra toughness. Oh, not toughness. Strength. There we go. Just because we're going to need that little extra bit of damage. Let's go to 40. Let's maybe move this one up. Maybe I'll move intelligence up to 40. Gives us 5 points left. I'm tempted to move perception up one. But I also kind of want to move things up that affect more things. More of these. Oh, I've reached its maximum level anyway. Could go up an extra one in fellowship if I wanted to. Might be okay there for right now. Seeing what our options are. Maybe I'll go an extra one in here. Yeah, let's go an extra one in perception here. So we got a 40 in fellowship, perception, intelligence, and strength. And a 35 in weapon skill, agility. Lord stat is willpower, toughness, and ballistics are at what we started with. Cool. Next, we need to choose our voidship. Okay. The Sword class frigate is a classic combat ship design proven in thousands of battles, combining decent firepower, high speed, and respectable survivability. Estimated dimensions 1.6 kilometers in length, 0.3 kilometers of beam at the fins, approximately. Estimated tonnage 6 megatons, approximately. Estimated number of souls 26,000, approximately. The Von Valancius flagship is the mightiest void ship belonging to the Von Valancius dynasty. Every system aboard this frigate has been tried and tested in innumerable engagements. Its weapons and turrets deliver hard-hitting volleys with pinpoint accuracy. Its plasma drives are rugged yet reliable in extreme conditions. The flagship's size and maneuverability are perfect for pursuing smaller, faster raiders and for hunting the countless pirates, xenos, and heretics in the Koronus Expanse. Numerous Von Valancius rogue traders have acknowledged the exceptional performance of this vessel, and with a few minor updates, the flagship has continued to faithfully serve the Von Valancius dynasty. Okay, can I edit? What does edit do? Name. Okay. I'm kind of happy for it to be called Sword Class Frigate, but I don't know. Why don't you re-roll some stuff for me? Oh, okay. We got here Unforgiven. The Daring Destiny. Destiny Hunter. Mercy of the Stars. I was going to say these all sound a little over the top, but then I realized that this is 40k. That is kind of part of the deal, isn't it? Seeker's Haven. Apex Predator. Atonement of the Abyss. Mercy of the Stars. Redemption Inexorable. That is... Let's go with Redemption Inexorable. Cool. And then we have our result. And now we just need a name. We're obviously not going to be called Rogue Trader. Abner. Seth. Marn. Lazarus. Solar. Wilbur. It's like every second name is normal and every third name is completely crazy. Esteban. Nathan. Orthesi. Clement. Finnan. I'm going through these because I am thinking we're going to be doing this a while. Also, I'm loving the random names. Clement. Oh, we're looping? Ignatius. Okay. Malachi. Macarius. It loves Clement. Aubrey. Macarius. Aubrey. Nathan. Hiram. Edmund. Boren. Nathan. Percival. Natius. Okay. Malachi. Well, I'm going to freeze a few more, and then we'll decide on one in a second. Cornelius. Hiram. Isidorus. I wonder if these are based on your homeworld. That'd be interesting. They probably aren't, but you know. Barnabas. I don't think we're a Barnabas. Vorgan. Clement. Hester. Zachary. I I don't think we're a Marn either, or a Wilbur. Carius? Jezebel? Barnabas? I don't know. This is the bit where I always have trouble. I'm like, what's the name? What's the name? It's a bit I never think about. Siegmund? Give it another couple of seconds. Gonna keep rolling until we get one I like. I could always enter one, but that has its own problems. Constantinos. Okay. I do also have a rule where if I don't say it right the first time, I'm like, definitely not going with it. Alright, let's be Malachi. Sure. We are now Malachi, the rogue trader operative. We are a crime lord who was captured in his darkest hour. But our triumph, we did manage to steal a priceless treasure. So in a way, I'm thinking we stole this priceless treasure, then were arrested and interrogated using creative and violent means. Okay. Yeah, this is cool. I like what we got going on. There's some stuff for us here. Get surefire plan and analyze enemies. Awesome. Right. Well, I think with that, I'm going to end this character creation video. If you enjoyed this, please consider watching the next video, which is going to be us actually playing the game rather than just going through the character creation menus. And potentially, if you really like it, maybe like, subscribe, comment, all of that sort of stuff, because it really helps with search ranking and SEO, and it lets me know that you're interested in seeing more of the series. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.